Okay. Okay, welcome back. I'm surely checking your attendance. And Tamara, not here yet. And Alaya, not yet. Madison, not yet. And Tierra, not yet. Okay, Madison, welcome back, Madison. Okay, Nimaya.
Here.
Okay, thank you. And Corey.
Here.
Yeah, Corey, stay on the line after class for your, grade review. So,
I need to call and see if they
Melody.
Here.
Okay, thank you. And Saya here.
Here.
Okay, and Lauren. Not yet. All right, I'm sharing screen for the remaining schedule and assignment. Okay, today is 14th week, and we have a 1 week before the final. So 14th week and April 11, and I am presenting section 9 in late adulthood. And we don't have a class on this Friday due to the Easter recess, and also we don't have a meeting on next Monday due to the Easter recess. And Zaya, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, and you are the presenter of section 10 and ending session and then next to Wednesday, all right?
Yes.
Okay, good. And we have a one more weekly review paper and on this Wednesday, and the article review paper due on April 22nd and next Friday. And I will post your final letter grade and April 25th and 29th. So, and I will give you the study guide for the final exam and this Wednesday and in-class meeting. So, and please join in-class meeting and this Wednesday and EH229. Okay.
Do you know what day our final is going to be on?
Can you hear me? Madison,
Yes.
you have question?
Yes, I was just asking if you knew what day specifically our final was going to be on.
All right, I have an academic calendar here. Hold on. Spring calendar. Okay, hold on. Right, and I'm sharing the academic calendar for this spring semester. And we don't have a class during the Easter recess and April 15th and 18th. And April 28th and last day of class and reading day, April 29th, Friday, and final exam and from May 2nd to 6th. And your course assessment and the class assessment is available on Blackboard. Please complete it. And final grade due is May 9th and Monday. Right. So I will post I thought, I posted this academic calendar on Blackboard. So, and I will share it again, right? Okay, and I prepared the late adulthood today. Yeah, please take a note for your, activity and participation grade, and I will prepare some, questions after my presentation. Usually, in late adulthood, start from age 60 to 80, usually, but I already mentioned that, there are four types of ages: and physical age, chronological age, and mental age, and social age, right? So usually we categorize the late adulthood from 60 to 80, middle adulthood from 40 to 60, but it depends on physical condition and loss of height and impaired vision and hearing problems and cardiovascular disease and some sleeping issue and some sexual changes. So there are several issues during late adulthood. Okay, at first, physical changes. And first one is a brain loss. And 5 to 10% of its weight between the age to 90. So the brain volume and decrease as well. So some area of brain shrink more than others. So physical appearance change, the wrinkles and muscle power and bone loss and a lot of physical changes and problems here. And sleeping, the quality of sleeping, and usually and we call it is a REM sleep. So it's a rapid eye movement and sleep. So and poor sleep is a risk factor for obesity and lower level of cognitive functions and early death. So we need more time to spend in sleep and benefit in memory. So it is a very, very critical issue of the sleeping issue in late adulthood. As for the health and vision problems and hearing problems, arthritis and osteoporosis. So there are several, issues regarding late adulthood health. At first, vision and declining, and vision and begin in earlier or middle adulthood to become more pronounced. And night driving becomes difficult. So honestly, I also have a problem in night driving. So it is really hard to drive at night, right? And some area of a visual field, it becomes smaller and depth of perception decline. So night driving becomes difficult in late adulthood. In my case, so my vision and some distance or some changing lane is a difficult issue due to the weakness of my eyes, right? And some vision loss due to the cataract and diabetes, also risk factor for the vision. And glaucoma is damage to the optic nerves because of pressure created by buildup and fluid in eyes. So glaucoma is another issue. And hearing loss and hearing loss linked to the declining in activities of a daily living and associated with the reduction of cognition functions and hearing issue. Other arthritis is inflaming of the joint and causing pain and stiffness and affect the hips and knees and ankles and fingers and vertebrae, and there is a known no non-cure. So arthritis and the osteoporosis and the severe loss of a bone tissue and causes some walk and bent over and leading cause of a broken bones in especially an old woman and osteoporosis. And so need exercise and sometimes we need medical support. And however, exercise is most critical part for the longevity and the healthy life in late adulthood. And it is strongly related to the chronic disease and improve old adult and cellular functions and improve the immune system and reduce decline the motor skills and reduce the stress and improve the cognitive functioning. And eating healthy and balanced food and diet is a very, very critical part for the old adults. And 35% of the United States adults and 60 and older are obese and seriously linked to the having higher mortality risk. So it is a critical issue and health in old adults in the United States. And retirement. And honestly, I am planning for my retirement plan right now. So, and 10 years later, and I think, and the retirement is a process and old adult and who just the best retirement plan, retirement are healthy and have enough income and active and better educated and have an extended social network and including family and friends. Okay, Lauren, welcome back. Okay, another issue in late adulthood is depression. The major depression is a mode of disorder in which the individual is extremely unhappy and demoralized, unhappy, and self-derogatory and bored. And some person doesn't feel well and lose the stamina easily and has poor appetite and unmotivated. So, according to the Eric Erickson and psychosocial theory, major goal and the aims for late adulthood is, integrity versus depression and despair. So, if we create the healthy concept of integrity, and integrity in late adulthood means, time to review and the whole life, and which part of my life was most shining, and which part of my life was most, and dark and shadow. So, and we are reviewing our life in late adulthood and with a healthy concept and regarding my life and my life with my spouse and my family and my friends and my community, my colleague and my job and my spiritual life. If they are fail to create healthy concept of integrity, they feel depression and despair. So it's a common cold in mental disorder, and depression is less common in old adults than young adults. So live alone, and you already learned about the empty nester syndrome and during the middle adulthood, right? And nursing home and other institution and hospital setting is a cause for the late life and late adulthood and depression. Another issue in late adulthood is the Alzheimer disease. So Alzheimer and Parkinson's disease. So I prepared it. So one of my colleagues and Dr. Kim and Hwan Kim in neuroscience technology in our university, and he is performing and conducting several experiments regarding the Alzheimer disease and Parkinson's disease with lithium, pills. He is developing the lithium pills for the Alzheimer and the Parkinson's disease associated with the Stanford University and the other medical center. Anyhow, Alzheimer is a progressive, and brain disorder, right? Brain disorder and characterized gradual deterioration of a memory and reasoning and language problems and physical function. So 6 to 80% of dementia cases, and it's not a normal part of aging. So great risk factor is increasing age, and majority of people and Alzheimer are the 65 and older. People younger than 65 years can have a early onset Alzheimer's. So Alzheimer is a really common, disease, and during the middle and late adulthood and late adulthood. So early stages of Alzheimer is memory loss is mild, but in late stages of Alzheimer, individuals lose the ability to carry on the conversation and respond to their environment. Unfortunately, my father is in Alzheimer right now, and he got memory skills and language skills and no communication available in him. And he is in the intensive care unit at the ICU in Korea. So the reason why I want to stay with him in Korea is, spend time with him and less the time and less period and ending session. So it is the example of Alzheimer's disease. And Parkinson's disease is another issue for the Alzheimer and late adulthood disease. And Parkinson's disease is from the brain disorder, a part of. So it is the sometimes associated with the Alzheimer's disease. Sometimes, and Alzheimer's disease strongly relate to the Alzheimer, and Alzheimer's disease strongly associated with the Alzheimer and Parkinson's disease. And my major professor in University of Georgia, and he is suffering from the Parkinson's disease, shaking his hand and trembling, and sometimes language problem and speaking. Right, I already mentioned that social emotional development and integrity versus despair, and time to review and my whole life and pictures of my life, and well spent and old adults that will be satisfied. And despair when old adults resolve the one or more earlier stages in negative way, and restore retrospective glance about the life worse can be negative. There are several stereotyping of old adulthood in society. Social participation by old adults is discouraged, and we call it is ageism, prejudice about others because of their age, and ageism, we call it is. And also, old adults are, perceived as incapable of thinking clearly and learning new things and holding responsible jobs. So, late adopter for the new technologies. And although that may not be hired for the job, we have another stereotypes for old adulthood in our society. And old adults may be shunned socially and aged out of family life. Mhm. So personal consequences of a negative stereotyping about age can be serious. So they feel despair, right? Due to this kind of stereotypes. In most culture, there are three factors are very important in living a good life as old adult. And first one is health and physical health and cognitive health and emotional and social health and security and kinship. So there are three keywords that provide from our textbook and culture. So as for the cognitive functioning, and during the late adulthood, most common complaint is difficulty in retrieving word to use in conversation, and often, okay, welcome back, Tamara. Often involving tip of the tongue phenomenon and can remember, but cannot retrieve it from the memory. So in the sometimes very confused with the word and what kind of word and what a choice. So I don't remember the person, or I don't remember some theories and the names, and sometimes we have some difficulties about and retrieve it from our memory also, and forget something and easily. So but we try to and take a note, and also we try to remember and scheduling and schedulers through my cell phone, right? So mental activities that benefit cognitive skills in old adults, for example, and reading books and crossword puzzles, some lectures and concert and board game and outdoor activities and small group, and discussion. So intellectual and social engagement can buffer age related to the decline in, intellectual development, right? So it is some difficult part, I want to say, and memory loss and some speaking problems, sometimes forget our schedule, or so exercise and try to take a note and the schedulers, and yeah, try to play some games, and reading and writing is most critical part to prevent our cognitive functioning and difficulty of retrieving word. All right, and it is time to think about death and our ending session. So usually I use the metaphor for our a lifespan as a baseball, and we are born from the home base and heading to the first base, and the early stage and early childhood, and infant, toddler, early child, and middle and late childhood, and adolescent, and first base, and second base, and we go to at the top of our physical power and function, and the middle adulthood, and from 20 to 40. And after middle adulthood, we are heading for the third base and late adulthood. Physical declines, and also feel about the social network and despair. and time to review our life, right? When we pass the third base and back to home, and and die. So we call it is funeral home, and from home to home. So it is a circle of our life, and the one baseball history and historians provide this kind of metaphor for our life and lifespan. Anyhow, and think about euthanasia and act of a painless ending. Yeah, act of a painless ending. And if somebody and are suffering from the incurable disease and severe disability, so we call it is a part of and this is also known as a mercy killing. So minor part of euthanasia and major part of euthanasia. So I don't know and how many states allow the euthanasia in the United States. And although those think about the death more than more and talk about it and the conversation with others. So and time to develop the some documentation for our will, and they have a more experience with the death as a friends and relatives become ill and die. According to the Dr. Kubler-Ross, and there are several stages for the death and stages of dying. And first stage and denial and isolation. Second stage and anger. And third stage and bargaining and depression. And finally, and accept their death. As for the first stage and denial and isolation, so oh no, and I don't think I have a and final cancer. So feel alone and anger and why me and why me and why me. And third stage and bargaining. Heavenly Father, please give me another chance to review my life with my family, and it is time to spend with my family and spouse and my kids and son and daughter. And finally a depression. So and accept. Okay. So it is pure loss and stage of dying. And denial and isolation and anger and bargaining and depression, and finally acceptance. And grieving is a keyword for the a keyword of and later to then dying, and emotional numbness, disbelief, and separation anxiety, and despair, and sadness, and loneliness of our loss and someone we love. So, and grief is a complex and evolving process with multiple dimensions. So we already, reviewed about the cumulative loss and stages of dying and grieving and denial and the anger and isolation and bargaining and finally, acceptance, right? So long-term grief can predispose individuals to become depressed or, even suicidal. So late adulthood and suicide is another issue for this one. Okay, and I am sharing this PPT files on the Blackboard, and I am capturing the video. Okay. Yeah, it is okay, Lauren. So I surely update your attendance. Okay, Tamara, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Tamara. Okay, Alaya. Alaya, here. And Tierra Rito. And Lauren here. Okay. Okay. Okay, and I will show your grade with the updated Excel file here. So, and I am grading and the third open book exam on the Blackboard, but some student still, incomplete the third open book. So, screen for your grade review. So this column D is your attendance score, and I posted this grade review on the Blackboard, and which day you missed the class here I described. This one is a weekly review paper, and I will update finally and at the end of this Friday, and and you will find your final estimated final letter grade. This is your presentation score, and Zaya, you are the only one presenter. You remained, and 2 weeks later, right, and next week, right? And this is the first open book exam. This one is second open book exam, and third open book on the Blackboard. And some student still incomplete, so I will. I'm grading right now, so I will post your grade after my evaluation. This is a final project article review paper at 10%. This one is activity and participation grade here in final exam. So if you have 45 out of 50 and third open book, and article review paper 9, and final exam 90 and out of 100. So you finally find your final letter grade here. So in the weekly review paper, 7.5 out of 20. So missed a lot of points. If it is 18, jump up from the C to B. And activity and participation grade 9. So remaining assignment and test, and you need at least 90% of remaining assignment and test for the A, right? So it is examples. So I am sharing this file on the Blackboard after class, right? Okay, thank you for your response. And Nimaya, and mental health disorder and characterized by persistently depressed mood, or loss of interest, and inactivities, and getting enough sleep, and eating healthy diet, and exercise, and yoga are all prevent over depression. Thank you so much, Nimaya, for your response. All right. And before we dismissed, and I update your attendance and schedule here. Okay. And Alaya not here today. Alaya and Tierra. Okay. No. All right, and we successfully finished section 9 and late adulthood today. And this Wednesday, I will see you in class and EH Building 229. And weekly review paper is due on this week. It is a final, review paper, right? And we don't have a online and in-person meeting in this Friday and next Monday due to the Easter recess, right? And next Wednesday, and Zaya and you are the presenter of section 10 and ending session. And article review paper is due on April 22nd and next Friday. After that, and we move forward to final exam on the blackboard. So this Wednesday class and in-person meeting, and I will explain and how to prepare your final exam with the study guide and the article review paper, and I will explain in detail. All right. Okay, thank you for your response. Melody and Lauren and Nimaya and Lauren and yeah, arthritis and high cholesterol and high blood pressure and cardiovascular disease and the memory skills, a lot of issues. Melody, a mental disorder characterized by the persistently depressed mood and long-term loss and pleasure or interest, and a state of a dark mood, and how to prevent to getting enough sleep and healthy diet and exercise regularly and self-care. Thank you. Medicine, some health problems that may occur during the late adulthood include the bone and weight loss and vision loss and hearing loss and night driving, right? And individuals and other sickness such as a high cholesterol, arthritis, and the high blood pressure. Thank you. Tamara, major depression is when there is a loss and interest in life, right? Thank you. Preventing by sleeping, and the quality of sleeping is really good. And eating healthy and exercising. Thank you so much for your response from review questions for the later. All right, thank you so much coming today, and I will see you in campus and this Wednesday in the 11 o'clock. All right, so please stay on the line if you have any questions about your grade and review. Yeah, Tamara, you have a question?
Yes, I had a question about my attendance for the 28th.
Okay, hold on. And I am checking. Please stay on the line. If you have a question about your grade and your assignment and test score. Okay, Tamara,